Yo guys, what's up? This is my review for Andor episode 9. So I know this review is a bit late. I just want to say this video will have spoilers. I just want to say that, but yeah, I know this video is a bit late. That's because I actually have COVID finally. Well, not finally, but it's taken a long time for me to get COVID. I am vaccinated, and it's been 2 years, and I have not had COVID once, but I finally got COVID. So yeah, I had COVID, and I was a little bit sick with it, but I'm good now, so I can make this review, which I've been trying to do for the past 2 nights, but every time I did, I just felt terrible. So yeah, it's late. I apologize. Anyway, let's talk about it. So yeah, Andor episode 9 came out. I loved last episode. I thought last episode, episode 8, was fantastic. Although, so I did not love this episode as much. I certainly liked it, but I will say, because I was expecting the big action episode that happens, because episode 7 I didn't really like episode 7 that much. Episode 8 I loved, and this episode I liked. That's because I thought that, how they've been doing the 3-act structure, where it's like for example, episode 1 and 2 will be, sort of slower build-up episodes, and episode 3 would be like a banger action, like major episode. And so that's what I've been expecting, because they did the same thing with 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, I was expecting that same thing with episode 7, 8, and 9, and I expected this one to be the big banger episode, because of episode 7 and 8 being setup episodes. And that turned out not to be the case. It turned out that episode 7 was more of like a sort of a standalone episode that was just not part of the 3-act structure build-up thing that they were doing. It turned out to just be like a standalone episode to do some stuff. And if I knew that at the time, I would be like, okay, I sort of get that, I sort of understand that. But I didn't know that, so that clearly altered my perception of the episode. Anyway, but yeah, looking at this episode as the middle of the 3-act structure that they're doing, I can like it more, because I was, now in hindsight, but when I was watching it, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for it to pick up. This is the episode where things are supposed to start happening, and nothing. Obviously, stuff happened, which I'll talk about, but nothing really happened, and so that kind of left me underwhelmed. And I was like, oh, was that it? I know I say that sounding like such a shallow viewer when I'm like, oh, all I want is action. It's like, when you're expecting action, it can be disappointing when you're not getting it, but it's okay. It's my fault. Anyway, I spent half the video talking about that. Let me talk about the episode. So yeah, I did like the episode though. I think all the stuff in the prison is so phenomenal and so fucking good to watch, and I'm so interested. I'm so excited for that fucking breakout next week. You can tell they're going to break out. And I like Andy Serkis's character a lot now. That moment at the end where, after the guy dies and he realizes what's happening and how it's actually very kind of tragic what they're doing. They're like, when the sentence ends, they're just moving them to a different floor and not telling anyone. That's actually terribly tragic. That's awful. So yeah, but yeah, once he finds out about that and the guy dies, I forgot his name, Olaf, Ulaf, and then Olaf dies, and Kino, I'm not sure, Kino, and Kino finds out, which is Andy Serkis' character, and he realizes all this, and then Cassian's been asking him all episode, how many guards are there? We need to break out. We need to do this. He asks him, and then Kino says, at the end of it, Andy Serkis does it so brilliantly. He says, with his hands on his head, he says, never more than 12. And it's such a great moment that shows his character growth throughout the episode. Now he's realizing what's happening, because he sort of was just trying to do things by the book, and be like, okay, let's do our things, let's get our sentences done. But then he realizes it's all for nothing. That was great. Anyway. Yeah, there's not much else happened in this episode. There's not really much more to talk about other than, basic stuff. Dedra's cool. There's sort of something going on between Dedra and Cyril. We'll talk about that more next episode. But yeah, that's my review for Andor episode 9. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're liking the show, let me know it down in the comments. And if you like this review, please like and subscribe. Go check out my other reviews, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.